Hey guys, Cohesive Friendship Unit here. I am Chris and I'm with Jake
Hey guys.
and Brian.
What's going on?
And we're going to talk about Pokemon that we think are going to be in the upcoming Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. But real quick, likes, subs, comments help. Comments are awesome. And we're giving away a copy of Far Cry 5. All you have to do is sub, and you'll be entered at 200 subs. We will pick a winner. So, Pokemon. They have been in every Smash, and we usually get 2 per game. Smash Bros, we had Pikachu, Jigglypuff. Then we got Pichu, Mewtwo. Then we got Pokemon Trainer and Lucario. And finally, we got Greninja and Charizard, which kind of came from Pokemon Trainer, but whatever. So there's a history. They happen, and they're going to happen in this new one. But which ones are they? I think we're going to go with 2 or however many. I have 2 planned. Does anyone want to go first, or you guys want me to lead the
Well, if
trail?
you have 2 planned, then
I have 2 planned.
well,
So-
go ahead.
Start us with
I've-
the 2.
I've kind of mentioned this theory a few times, but I'm going hard on it. There are currently Charizard and Greninja. Charizard is the fire starter from Gen 1, and Greninja is the 3rd form of the water starter from Pokemon X and Y. And I think we should round that off with a ground or a grass starter. And I think that's going to be Decidueye, which is from the latest Sun and Moon games. He's
No Ivysaur. That
well, I think Gen 1's represented, and people actually like Decidueye. I mean, Meganium is also
yeah,
amazing.
Meganium's pretty dope. I mean,
How
it's
would you
hard to get
Ivysaur
there.
to fight too, though. He's like a turtle.
Solar Beam, dude. That's your
Yeah, that's
that's
his
your
one move.
standard B, and then you could do like you
Solar
have
Beam,
some
your standard B. Oh, well, you charge it.
right,
You charge
like
it.
like a charge attack like Samus. And then you have some sort of whip attack for side B, and then I don't know. They could come up with
The
other
they
Bowser
had-
Smash.
They had Ivysaur in Brawl as part of the
Hey,
Pokemon.
nobody fucking cares about
Yeah.
Ivysaur, dude.
That's true. Well, I mean,
Nobody
regardless,
cares about the second evolution.
They
Like,
should-
if
they should have swapped it instead of Squirtle Ivysaur. It should have been Bulbasaur Wartortle. I think that would have been better.
nobody cares about Wartortle either, dude. Hate to break it to you.
I think he's better than Ivysaur. But anyways, I think it's going to be Decidueye because he's actually like well liked, and he's an owl, which I don't know, why not, right? But he has a bow, which is kind of unique. Well, he like shoots stuff. He doesn't have a bow. Yeah, I think he'd be good. And I guess I'll name my second one. Then you guys can tell me all together how ludicrous I am. I think we're getting a Pokemon Switch game. It's already been announced that it's in development. It's going to be mainline, and I feel like they would not start off their home console Pokemon experience with a remake of Gen 4, because that's like historically where they would be at right now, because they just did a new gen, then they'd remake 4. I think
So that would be the four would be the DS games.
yeah, but I think they're not. I think they're gonna do a new gen. I don't think they're gonna start their Switch foot off with a remake. That seems
think-
very strange to me. I think it's gonna be a new gen, and we got Mewtwo, and I mean Lucario is not legendary, but I think we're gonna have like the latest gen's legendary as the other Pokemon. So I'm going with Decidueye, the grass last form starter from Sun and Moon, and the Switch Pokemon's one of the legendaries.
Do you think the Switch game's gonna come out before Smash though?
No, but I think it could be DLC.
Oh, that's a good point. Forgot Nintendo's in the DLC game now.
Yeah.
That's a good guess then. I was like, the only reason I wouldn't be able to see it is if it wasn't coming out before, which I don't think it is. They wouldn't like put in a character that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, the only other thing, and Jeremy and I talked about this a little off the air, would be if they did like a trailer, like if like let's say for Metroid Prime 4, like Samus is totally different and her moveset would clearly be different. If they like showed off an E3 trailer before they showed off Samus in Smash, then they could do it. So like if they did a Pokemon trailer and showed the legendary, then they could show it in Smash. But
Yeah. That makes
No,
sense.
I think that those are kind of decent, realistic bets.
yeah, they're kind of boring.
Well, no, but I mean, you think about it, like Smash 64 that had Mewtwo in it, right?
Melee, yeah.
What did Smash 64 have in it for Pokemon?
Jigglypuff and Pikachu.
Charizard?
That was it?
Yes, for playable characters. Yeah.
I would have sworn that had Mewtwo in it, but
There weren't a lot in the original.
There were 12 characters total in the original, so Pokemon
Well, yeah,
got 2 out of 12, which was
fair
considering
enough.
Pokemon basically
Jigglypuff,
came
really?
out the year before in America. That's pretty big.
Okay, so I guess that's that argument. I was gonna say that they have tried to do what you were saying they do in the past, where they sort of preview something or they incorporate something from the latest generation into the Smash games.
They did with Greninja, which is the water starter of Smash 4. That's exactly what they did. And I don't know. I think they could continue that.
Well, but I mean, cross promotion, like they historically have done pretty well with that.
Yeah, I mean Smash could and should be like basically a giant ad for all of their franchises.
Right.
It's how Fire Emblem got big. Like they put the
Yeah,
Fire
that's
Emblem
true,
characters
that's
in
true.
Melee, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And then they ported a game over, and everyone loved it.
Fire Emblem's dope though. It's a great game.
So Pokemon.
Yeah,
Some would-
Pokemon.
some
I was
would
gonna
say.
say. I was gonna say.
All right, you guys have any predictions?
So here's my thoughts. For I haven't played any of the new games, and I haven't played really any Smash other than Melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only one I've ever owned. The only Nintendo console that I've ever owned was a GameCube. So these are a little bit left field. I think one's more realistic than the other. I think that would be the realistic one would be one of the Gen 1 starter Pokemon. So not Charizard, but like Charmander, because Charizard's really slow and the attacks are really powerful. Charmander's, I can see that being kind of the opposite.
Mhm.
Small, hard to hit, quick, but the attacks really don't do that much. The other thought that I had was a weird one from Gen 3, which is Shed Ninja. When you
Yeah.
evolved a certain Pokemon, you got an extra one that only had 1 HP, but you could only damage it with like super effective attacks.
Yes.
So
And it changed types.
right. So it was really powerful if you knew what you were doing with it, but you know, if you didn't know it had that weakness, you were all done. So I can see that maybe being like a Diddy Kong type thing. We were talking about Diddy Kong earlier, where you know Diddy Kong's really hard to play unless you know what you're doing. In the Smash for Wii U, what is that? Smash 4?
Smash 4, yeah.
Right. So maybe something like that caters to more of the experienced player, because there are certainly people out there that have been playing Super Smash Bros. For most of their life at this point. I mean, when did the first one come out?
99.
Right. So you talk about people
Honestly,
who
that's
were
me.
8 years old in 1999, right?
Yeah.
And they have money, and they now have not only money but disposable income. Some of us, and I think that Nintendo knows that, and they're trying to cater to that retro audience a little bit without, you know, going overboard with it.
Yeah, and I really like your Gen 1 because just right off the bat, they could easily just bring Squirtle and Ivysaur back, and then they could just like throw in another one, or just
well-
bring them back in general.
What I was thinking would be really interesting is if the skins were like if the Pokemon was just like a generic starter Pokemon and you could change it to whatever you wanted. So you could change it from you could be like Squirtle or Totodile or Chikorita. You know, you
that'd be-
could change it up
that'd
through
be
the
interesting.
generations, but I don't know how it would work. Like the fire and water move sets, I think would kind of work, but the grass one,
Yeah.
I don't really know how that would work with a skin swap
So-
and keeping it all.
So I had this. I'm cutting Jake off a bit. So, but I had this idea before we kind of started this video, where, and they did this with the Pokemon trainer, and they did it with Zelda and Sheik, kind of, but a transforming character where you like down B to transform, but you can change between the three forms. So you would have like Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard as like a playable Pokemon, or
Oh,
or
so like
Ivysaur, Venusaur.
evolutionary line.
Yeah, so you can evolve, and that changes the moves. So you can go from like quick and light to like big and heavy.
I think that would be OP.
Well,
I
they'd
think
have to
that would
do
be-
it
Yeah.
because if you think about it,
Pokemon trainer.
yeah, Pokemon Trainer was Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard. Like they did it. And I
Right, but what you're talking about with an evolutionary line is more of like stronger versions of the same attack. Like, and the only downside to bumping up would be some sort of time delay and you slow down.
yeah, speed and recovery probably.
Right, but it would have to be balanced pretty carefully. But I think if anyone's capable of doing something like that, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about it today. I was like, maybe that could work. Jake, you good to go?
Yeah, sorry, I just swallowed some water the wrong way.
You heard it here first.
That's right. No, I think the just to weigh in on the switching Pokemon, I think the switching evolutions would be pretty cool. Because now that they took out Pokemon Trainer, I feel like they like the whole switching. Have one character that's multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
But for my guess, I would say I was thinking Detective Pikachu, because we know Detective Pikachu's coming out. But at the same time, it would be weird if they had a second Pikachu character.
Nah, that'd be
They
great.
haven't done that before with like Link,
Pichu.
Toon
Pichu.
Link, Pichu. So maybe
They could do a
Detective
different
Pikachu.
move set.
They could, or they
Like a
could just
Dr. Mario
do-
Mario type thing.
Well, did
Yeah.
they have a Detective Pikachu like? Skin
I don't think
for
they
the
had a
previous
skin.
one?
No,
Okay.
I don't think they did.
So
That's
maybe
also likely.
that's
the
the other
skin.
thing is like a
Well-
skin.
So the best part about all this is like Ryan Reynolds is voicing Detective Pikachu. So like if they put him in the game, he could voice Pikachu in Smash.
Oh, like
It'd be
Deadpool.
kinda- Yeah, exactly.
You heard
I mean,
it
as much
first.
as I know we're
Deadpool's
all
coming to
huge,
Smash.
we're all huge Ryan Reynolds fans, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, from the clips of the movie that I've seen, I always kind of picture, like, I've never seen them with sound on. It's always just like GIFs or like a video with no sound. I always picture him sounding more like Ted from the movie Ted.
no, he has a pretty strongish kind of determined voice. I don't know.
So he sounds like more or less like Deadpool,
Yeah, he sounds pretty much like Deadpool,
because I mean it's the same guy.
but we don't know how he's gonna sound as Pikachu yet.
Well, he's not gonna sound like Pikachu sounded in the cartoons.
Well, so the 3DS game Detective Pikachu has like a voice, and you can hear what he sounds like, and he's
Like a person's
He's-
voice.
yeah, it's a person's voice.
Dude, that's fucked up. It's Pikachu.
I don't know why. Like,
Should be
is
Pikachu's
it like
voice.
an alcoholic person's voice?
No, it
I
kind of
look at
it's
that
like a
character model
disgruntled. Well, so actually, one of like the jokes in the game is that like the Pikachu's addicted to coffee, and like I think that's definitely kind of an allusion
It's
to
not. It's not. necessarily
coffee, yeah.
kids.
or maybe it's an Irish coffee, you know.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
probably more Irish than coffee.
I mean, he's a detective. All detectives are like raging alcoholics, right? Even
Columbo wasn't. He just smoked a
Mm.
lot of cigars.
yeah.
But yeah, most of them are.
Well, okay. Did you have anything else, Jake, or just
That
detective?
was the only one I had.
All right, I
Not
think
that
detective
creative.
is actually kind of that would be cool.
I
I'd be
think
cool
we
with that.
mentioned it in a previous one too. I think Detective Pikachu's coming to Smash in some form.
That'd be awesome.
More than
I'd
a
be.
skin, maybe not all the way to a character. I don't know what the
Yeah,
in between is though.
I think we'll definitely get a skin. But if we do get a skin, I hope like they also change the voice work. Maybe not to Ryan Reynolds, but
That would be pretty funny.
maybe they just do voice clips from like the Detective Pikachu game.
Could be a
Because-
DLC
Or you
skin or
could just
something.
get,
Yeah,
you
that'd
could
be
just get a guy that does steel work for a living to voice him, or Elwalda, or something like that. I don't know. That's just what the character model looks like to me. I can't really picture Ryan Reynolds doing the voice. I think they should.
I don't think anybody could. They wanted Danny
Picture
DeVito.
Pikachu.
It should have been Danny DeVito.
It
We've
should have
talked
been.
about this
Yeah,
before.
we have talked about this before. We just can't get enough of Detective Pikachu. It'll
We
probably be our
can't get
game.
enough
of
of
the year.
Danny DeVito.
That's
Most
also
likely.
true. All right, so I think we'll quickly summarize. We have Detective Pikachu, evolving Pokemon, Shedinja. Who was your?
starter Pokemon of some sort?
That's true.
Different
Starter. Yeah,
Pokemon.
but first form evolved,
Right.
like a Charmander. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of locked into that first one.
And then I had a Decidueye and like a legendary from the new game. So I think that's a pretty solid list.
Good
I'm happy
list.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Brian, do you want to send the troops off?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, make sure you leave us something down in the comments. There's what, like about 15 million Pokemon now, and there's a new game coming out, so there's going to be probably 25 or 30 million after
I
that
hope
one
we
comes
get
out.
an extra 15 million Pokemon in the next game.
Oh, I'm
They have to
sure it's
step up
almost
the game.
guaranteed. I'm sure it's almost guaranteed, and 90% of the time, I'm right 100% of the time. So leave us your thoughts on what you think a good Pokemon might be, and if you like this episode, or if you can't get enough of Danny DeVito, just make sure to obliterate that motherfucking like button for us this week. And just as a friendly reminder, we are still giving away that copy of Far Cry 5 to one of our lucky subscribers, and it won't be one of the four of us. So, well, it won't be.
You want?
So, if you're interested in a copy of Far Cry 5, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click the ringy dingy up in the right top hand corner to make sure you get updates on everything that's going on here. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.